Hello everyone, how you going and welcome back to Fellow Kids, the place where we really just get to see the age gap on the internet. You've got the Facebook boomers and the TikTok zoomers and everything in between, but this really just shows you how designers and people making decisions just obviously miss the mark on so many little things that you go, wow, I don't think that really works for a younger demographic. But let's jump straight into it. Starting off with, why is it always McDonald's? Oh, come on now. I don't know about this. I feel as though I kind of like it. You got to start off by saying, so you have to give these companies some sort of credit and some sort of leeway, you know? They won't hit the nail on the head every time. You can't expect them to be up to the date with the latest thing. But when they're kind of self-aware and they're using kind of an everlasting meme in a way, you know, obviously in the meme cycle, memes go through ups and downs, but something like the SpongeBob text can really just go on forever. It's not something that can just be faded out just like that. And also, Mr. Poster, I don't think it's always McDonald's. I reckon it's a fair share around of the fast food joints. But yeah, I can certainly see why it's on this sub, you know, generally speaking, I'd like to say that food at home is going to be better than McDonald's. Not better in terms of what you might want in the moment, but better for you or cheaper or whatever it may be. So yeah, even though you might be craving Macca's and that's what you want in that exact moment and you're going, oh, can we just grab some food? You know, you're on a long road trip, you do with the parents and like, oh, can we grab some Macca's? No, we've got food when we get there. We've got an esky full of stuff. No, we're not having Macca's. That's the kind of situation I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of we have food at home. So yeah, I guess it's a bit hypocritical. No, that's not the right word. Anyway, whatever it is, it's just a little bit wrong of them to say we've got food at home, implying the second half of the meme. But I still think them using it isn't too fellow kids, you know, but maybe that's why it's a bit lower. Here's YouTube trying to be funny so everyone will stop hating them because they suck at dealing with their platform. This fried rice looks kind of sus. YouTube video to, I don't know what this YouTube video is, but man, that looks like it's getting flicked out of the entire pan. I wonder when this was. Hang on. This was 19 days ago plus 5 hours ago. Yeah, so 19 days ago. It's not even right in the peak of Among Us, you know. I feel as though Among Us was kind of at its peak. It's still doing amazingly well. I would have thought it had died ages ago, but I feel as though Among Us was in its full peak, what, maybe 2 months ago now? So unless this person harbored onto this photo for a week or something, then I really don't know why they're posting it now. Again, I can see what they're going for and you can always see what they tried to do. Well, hopefully you can see what they tried to do or whether they missed the mark or not. I don't really know where the fried rice comes into it. I mean, if you're trying to teach kids or whoever is playing Among Us to make fried rice, I guess that's a good thing, but I really don't see how that's going to happen from this video. It's not like it's dressed up in a colorful spacesuit or something. It's just fried rice. It doesn't look, and it doesn't even look sus. It just actually looks pretty decent. And hey, as much as people love to hate on YouTube, I reckon half the time it's just because they have nothing better to do. YouTube actually provides so much good stuff, whether it be educational and entertainment or whatever it might be, you know. They're like, it's an incredible platform for what it does. Yeah, they miss the mark on the occasion in terms of what they do with the actual platform, let alone, you know, fried rice looks kind of sus. So no, that's a completely separate matter. But overall, you know, it's a very successful platform. You don't be the second biggest search engine in the world without doing something correct. You know, people always say, oh, handle this better, handle that better, but you know, like there's so much on their plate. I reckon they do a decent job for what they have to do. Yeah, everyone can always do better, but come on. But even then, like I said, they can miss the mark. Even with however many employees they have, they can miss the mark. And what is going on here? I don't know. I couldn't answer that if you asked me. I just cannot see the relationship between fried rice and Among Us and how they went, you know what, we're going to put this poster or this video with fried rice in an Among Us kind of style meme, and that's really going to hit home with the radical youth. You know, YouTube themselves already get memed so much between whether it be rewinds or like, what was it, 2018's rewind. Oh my goodness, that was what, the most disliked video? I actually don't know if it's still the most disliked video or not. And then fair enough, last year they went super safe with the rewind, but it was actually kind of alright still. This year they're not doing one, they're just slowly whittling it back it seems. But you know, they just get memed so hard all the time from whatever they do. And so really they're just trying to get into the game, be with the youth and whatnot, but it doesn't work too well, does it? Please Santa, no. Santa adapting to virus restrictions. Oh no, look at that. What do you want for Christmas, little Timmy? Oh, I just want you to copy whatever I do. And then he dabs and like, oh goodness gracious. Poor Fox 5, you know, if they had any young demographic to begin with, it all just went down a landslide as soon as they saw Santa dabbing. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly sure Fox is generally an older demographic. And so yeah, with airing something like this, they certainly would have won any favors with the younger demographic. But I guess it's not even their fault, you know. This could have been live and this kid just kind of suddenly did it and the Santa did it behind him. Obviously they're doing a whole story about social distancing, you know, Santa's over here and the kid's over here. I don't really get how the kid talks to him, you know. Does he just have to spin around and talk to him and then he spins back and they get a photo? I don't know how that works. It's all a bit strange, and to be honest, I've never really understood the whole appeal of going to the shops and getting a photo with Santa, you know. I think I've got one photo when I was like 2 years old or something and I'm just crying because I just did not want to be there. I just found it so weird. But to be fair, we have to give some credit to the Santa, you know. He's just trying to be this big jolly old guy, and however you look at it, he just has to be this cheerful guy that kind of just is super fun for kids, and if that's what's making the kids laugh and be fun, then, you know, I guess he has to do it too. Santa certainly won't know what he's doing or what it is, but, you know, it's just a little arm movement and he's all good. We go, oh, you know, how could Fox 5 air this? You know, Santa adapting to social distancing restrictions, blah, blah, blah. But really, he's just trying to connect with the kids and have a good time. So even though it's certainly a demographic that really shouldn't be doing it, you know, it's not really his fault. It's more fellow kids on Fox's behalf. But yeah, if it's live, what are you going to do? How to appeal to the Australian youth. Now, here we go. It's not coolies to get the Rona at Schoolies. Oh no, Port Mac Schoolies 2020. Port Macquarie Council put this up. Oh, that is so bad, but so good at the same time. They tried so hard to rhyme Schoolies with something, and the best they could come up with was coolies. This is a very Australian thing only, considering the word Schoolies is just unanimous with, I don't know about Australia-wide, because I don't know what Perth and South Australia do, but the entire East Coast of Australia knows what Schoolies is, and I feel as though especially New South Wales knows what Schoolies is. Basically, just as soon as kids finish year 12, they just go and party for like, I don't know, an extended period of time, whatever it may be. And so really, they're just saying stay safe within, because, you know, not this year because they cancelled all the events. Usually they put on like just concerts and stuff and all this. The council cancelled all that this year, but yeah, obviously they're just saying stay safe or whatever you're doing. But oh my god, it's not coolies to get the Rona at Schoolies. That is just a horrible, horrible expression. And then I've just realized that the 1.5 meters is signified by a surfboard. I feel as though if the entire Reddit demographic was Australian, this would be number one. You know, obviously I haven't seen the top post, but I feel as though this one is just so disgusting from Port Macquarie of how hard they tried. And of course you had to get a hashtag in there as well, you know, so between the coolies, schoolies, surfboard and the hashtag, what are you going to do? You know, you just put every last nail in the coffin for Port Macquarie Council. I mean, yeah, it's a good message and I understand what they're doing, but it's just so poorly executed. I just don't understand. Whoever was in charge of this certainly hasn't just finished school, I'll say that much. The Slim Jim Instagram page is incredible. I have heard of Slim Jims, but I have no idea what they are. But alright, so we've got Slim Jim 69 protein, wait, hang on, and ice, and finally, a nice cube. This doesn't even make sense. Where's the inspiration for this? You know, obviously everyone knows about the scientist meme about all the different creations he made. I don't know how many things this guy's discovered, but oh my goodness. But why did they suddenly decide to bring it back up now? You know, regardless of whenever the 69 protein, what a strange name anyway, it came out, to just suddenly go, ah yes, I have the perfect meme format. It's going to be, we're going to put it in ice and we're going to make a nice cube. On its own, it's not even funny, let alone when it's trying to be fellow kids. And so like I said, I have no idea who Slim Jim is, and I certainly don't know what the Instagram page is, but if it's full of this kind of stuff, oh my goodness, it's kind of comic gold to everyone just laughing at it, definitely not with it. And whoever is making this stuff, I wonder if they're even self-aware at how bad it is. You know, it almost gets to a point where it has to be self-aware for them to be doing this bad. To continuously just be that bad over and over and over again and be posting this kind of stuff on an Instagram page, you have to know what's going on, because you just be getting comments over and over and over again, just absolutely roasting the person who created it. And so I feel as though sometimes these companies just play on this bad advertising as a way to get more advertising, you know. And, you know, we're talking about it right now. I've never heard of a Slim Jim and I don't even think you can buy them in Australia, but I don't, you know, if there was, maybe I would. Really, I think in essence what Fellow Kids comes down to is just how basic the meme is. You know, if there's just no thought about it, or if it's just clearly just trying too hard, it just doesn't work. You know, that's not what memes are. They're just kind of quick things that people either think about a lot but just kind of quickly whip up. You know, the ones that often do the best are kind of the ones that just appear for nowhere, have very little meaning and no direct meaning. So yes, really, someone should just teach a course in how to make memes. At least my teacher is having fun with this. White sus, why? He doesn't know photosynthesis. What? No, of course I do. Prove it. Why can I picture this being in a PowerPoint presentation? You know, you're going through photosynthesis, you're going through all the biology, you're going slide by slide by slide, and then suddenly this just pops up. No title, no nothing, and you just go, the whole class just suddenly goes reels back in horror. I mean, really now I just want to know if White knows what photosynthesis is, you know? I bet if White doesn't even know what photosynthesis is, they won't even know what the mitochondria does. You know, like, come on now, get on there. Everyone knows that kind of stuff. You know, after this, you definitely have to call an emergency meeting and ask what is the mitochondria of the cell. And whoever doesn't answer it correctly is out of here. They are the most sus person I know, because every single person knows what the mitochondria of the cell is. But hey, I don't know, again, it's kind of a teacher trying to be cool with the kids, and yeah, that's exactly what Fellow Kids is. But you said the teacher seems to be enjoying it, but I'm sure you kind of had a little bit of a smile, whether it was at the teacher or with the teacher. Regardless, you know, it's a little bit of fun, a little bit different from the just kind of droll and boring thing that school can be. Thinking about it more, I have no idea how Purple would have figured out that they don't know what photosynthesis is, but maybe there's some new tasks that show people's knowledge base of biology, who knows? But yeah, it's a little bit sus that Purple knows that White doesn't know it, really. So personally, I don't know about this, and I reckon I would have had a little bit of a smile about it. You know, I don't expect any teacher to be pulling off some top quality memes, but at least least this is something that is kind of relatable. And hey, if the teacher can build a better student-teacher relationship through the little things like this, then I think that works for everyone. Got this other Snapchat ad, not even sure they're trying to understand the meme. Hey, so we need money quickly. That's easy. Press the link in bio and claim 750 PayPal. They certainly completely missed the mark about what this entire meme is. I mean, I certainly don't mind it with the Alien adaptation. I haven't actually said it before. It's always the same kind of office space, and so that's at least new to me, but they really have just missed the entire mark of the whole meme template. The whole interaction doesn't even make sense, you know. This guy's asking for money, and then another person gives him a way to get it, and he gets chucked out of the spaceship. It's like, which one do you want? Do you want money or do you want no money? You know, I've got options for you, and you're not even taking the opportunities. There's no way I can make a better one up on the spot because I'm just not that creative, but I can certainly recognize when something just is not right. You know, maybe the comments can come up with some better ones, you know, fill in the blanks, you know. It still has to follow the same kind of plot about, hey, so we need money quickly, but just kind of change the bottom three and see what we can come up with. And I wonder who this advertisement's even for, you know. I can't see it being PayPal, and I certainly don't see them advertising on Snapchat. I don't see why anyone would be advertising on Snapchat. That doesn't really make sense to me. But if it's not PayPal, I have no idea who it's about, you know. The entire meme doesn't even mention who the ad's for. So yeah, they certainly missed the mark, and I think they even landed on a completely different planet with this meme. Following AOC's leads, but if it gets him elected, I'm all for it. Alright, who have we got? Reverend Raphael Warnock. I don't know if I said any of that right, but host your game night on Twitch. Who wants to play Uno with me? I mean, Uno's only 4-player online, but I'll sign up. I also don't know who AOC is. I imagine another political person, considering the post said that they're following their lead. But yeah, like I said, if this is the kind of person that can be streaming on Twitch one night and then running for, I don't know, a member of parliament position the next night, that's the kind of person you want to be leading you. You know, they're obviously smart enough to know different demographics and how to play your hand right to get in with certain crowds, but a game night on Twitch with a politician, man, I would never see that happening. You know, imagine if you did get elected and you were just kind of the game night on Twitch and you're just talking politics if you're into that kind of stuff. You know, just like a mate that you're just talking about work with, but you know, this guy's running for whatever US Senator candidate, and it can just be this casual Uno game where you're talking about top tier positions in a country. So yeah, like I said, I don't know anything about his actual politics, but I feel as though that's the kind of guy that is decent to be in office. Hee. Oh, McDonald's again. What is going on? Welcome, McDonald's. What can I get you? I mean, again, I kind of do like this one. Why is McDonald's just getting slammed all the time, but I actually end up kind of liking it? This one's just so easy too. It's such an easy and perfect way to do it. I don't know where this entire sculpture's at the moment. Obviously it gets moved around a lot. I did hear speculations. People thought it was going to come to Australia next. I really don't think that's the case, but yeah, it's certainly an interesting thing for McDonald's to do. But I'll never be able to look at it the same because it really does just look like that. And I wonder if this is all the US McDonald's. Obviously it doesn't say Macca's or McDonald's UK or anything, so it can't be any other country, or maybe it's just the kind of international McDonald's, who knows. And I think the other thing is, the reason I like it is kind of simplistic. You know, they've just got a welcome, they put a little speaker on it, confirm order here. I don't know what this is. It's literally just a 2-minute Photoshop job and you're done, you know. It doesn't take extra thought. It's someone just quickly thought about it. You go, huh, you look at that. It's all the ones you can kind of just chuckle at as you scroll past them. That's the best kind of memes, I reckon. And so hey, the same applies to everything else I said before. You know, I reckon McDonald's get kind of roasted too often for all these kind of posts, but like I said, I've liked 100% of their posts so far, so I don't know if it just tickles me in particular or if they're just really not that bad. Okay, Ellen, you silly grandma, you. Ellen DeGeneres, 200 years in the future. Honey, have you seen my iPhone 378? I need to pre-order my PS6. Wow, so obviously Apple start releasing a lot of phones every year, or they've skipped a lot of numbers, because that's nearly 2 phones every year from now on. And in this entire time, PlayStation have only released 1 console, unless they completely change the naming scheme for the next, what, 200 years, and then they come back to it in 200 years time. I really don't see how the maths is working here. I do often wonder though what all the companies like Apple and Google and everyone that releases a new device every year and has to make a name every year, you know, the numbers just go up and up and up. What are they going to do in 200 years? Are they just going to have these monster numbers? Surely that's just not going to be a good advertising naming scheme anymore. You know, until you hit the landmarks like 250, 300, 1,000, a million, all of those kind of big numbers, they sound alright, I guess. But iPhone 378, that just sounds ridiculous. And you know, these companies are multi-trillion-dollar companies now. That just sounds ridiculous to say, but yeah, they're multi-trillion-dollar companies now. They must have some kind of super long-term forethought about what they kind of do. I doubt it would be locked in stone or anything like that, but surely someone's thinking about, okay, where do we go from here after we go from here after we go from here? I mean, but if we're honest though, the iPhone 378 is probably just going to be a software update because it's just going to be implanted in you. You're not going into surgery every year to get a new phone. In another 200 years time, I can't imagine there being any more radical kind of year-to-year changes that you're gonna have to go in for surgery every year. And I guess the other thing is I often wonder if celebrities and whatnot even run their own Twitter accounts. I'm sure some of them do, but I'm fairly sure some of them get some at least help, if not just completely if someone else runs it. I've never seen anything else from Ellen on Twitter, but I feel as though maybe she runs her own. But maybe she needs a little bit of help. If nothing else, at least with a math student, she just kind of fix up the numbers there. Fellow kids in a nutshell. The teacher that put the meme in the PowerPoint to make everyone happy, like I was saying before. What the hell? That's so cringe, student. See, that's kind of what I was getting at before. I don't know if that makes me really old and kind of fellow kiddish, but I just feel as though teachers that are putting in that little bit of extra effort to try and have that better student-teacher relationship is just, you know, I don't see why it has to be so cringe. I'm sure there's some absolute stinkers out there with teachers that have just gone completely miss the mark, just like the aliens did. You know, I feel as though even if a teacher completely missed the mark, they're going to have more credibility than a teacher that is just boring and drab and would never do something like that. You know, students really respond to a teacher they respect, and so if, you know, if they have a little bit more respect, and it just makes the classroom better for everyone. So yeah, obviously this post is completely meta, but I 100% agree with it. Guy Fieri's catastrophe yines tweets? I don't know what that word is. Oh no, what is that? No way he has a character. Where are we dropping at Ninja too? And then the fact that the image is saying they're dropping it at Flavor Town. And I wonder if Ninja replied to this. I imagine he would have, and especially if it was a brand deal or some kind of negotiation contract, I imagine he would have. But if it was just out of nowhere and Ninja gets tagged in this, he's going, what is this? No, I'm not responding to this. Get out of here with your just random kind of meme that doesn't mean anything. I just cannot believe that this guy is saying that this guy is this guy. This guy looks like the RuPaul version of this guy, not the other way around. I guess that really says something about Guy Fieri, but still, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. He must be one of the highest B-rate celebrities I've ever heard of. He's just always there in the background, always doing something, but he's just, you know, he's just never reached that top tier, has he? I mean, maybe depending on which way you look at it, he has reached ultimate top tier, you know? Like, this is just absolutely mind-blowing about what this is. And then, so perhaps maybe his two rankings balance each other out a little bit. But yeah, I certainly can't argue for Guy Fieri on this one. That is just pretty bad. Wendys absolutely will never fail us. Goofing around this afternoon, which one of these classics do you want to see as deep fries? Frosties won, 46%. I've never had any Wendys, so I really don't know what's going on here, but the votes are in and Frosties won. Yep, it was who saw. But we went ahead and deep fried all of them. What? Wait, are they videos? Are they images? What am I looking at? Let's see if I can kind of figure out which one's which. I imagine that's Dave's Triple, considering it has 3. That must be the Baconator. That it looks like some sort of a salady thing. That looks like a person, so I don't know what that is, but that looks like some sort of salady thing. And so this must be Frosties, but that almost looks like a can of Coke or something. Unless that's the top of the straw. I really just cannot see with these oversaturated, overgraining images. But really, like the title says, Wendys will never fail us. I've never even had Wendys, and I know Wendy's reputation on Twitter. You know, Wendy's reputation on Twitter was even mentioned in an ERB, you know? You must have some seriously high-tier Twitter content to kind of be getting it onto ERB lyrics. And considering I've only ever heard of it, I've never actually seen any evidence of it, I can really see where they're coming from. I like the votes are in and Frosty's won, but we went ahead and deep fried them all, you know? What? No worries. I can't imagine they actually did this, and I have no idea what is going with all these kind of emojis, and like I said, just the saturation on the images is insane. But it certainly makes for an interesting entire Twitter panel, you know? I guess I'll just have to keep my eye on what Wendys is actually posting from now on, you know? I want to see what else they're going to deep fry. Start using these, you boomers. Oh no. Start using Gen Z language. Instead of that really sucks, use oof. Instead of wow, that shitty, say yikes. Instead of I can't believe something that shit can happen, say big oof. Instead of saying that's incredibly horrid, I'm sorry that happened, say shit, man. And instead of saying wow, that's a minor inconvenience, say I want to end myself. Now I feel as though something about the last one is edited, considering it's not even the same font, but I certainly can't disagree with it. There's certainly some extra phrases that could have made it into a release like this, you know? If you want it to be an entire comprehensive dictionary with translations and everything, you're gonna have to have a very comprehensive list to get all of them in. You're going to fill every single cell in an Excel spreadsheet, but yeah, there's a lot of them. But hey, as boomers always say, they're just so superior, so I'm sure they'll be fine to learn an entirely new language. You know, every younger generation has learned all the boomer phrases, but it doesn't ever go the other way around, does it? So perhaps it just maybe needs to be an autocorrect, you know? You just, as soon as they start typing, oh, that really sucks, you just autocorrects to oof. And just do that for their entire phone, and then they'll very quickly learn it. It'll be very simple, really. And so the top of fellow kids, you know, the posts that advertisement and media that totally appeal to the radical youth is my dad trying trying to relate, not a bad effort. Yeah, immediately, comrade. Bombrad. And then I'd love to see the timestamps on these and see how long it took him to find that bead. Because really, if you don't have that bead and you recently used emojis, you just cannot find it. I mean, forget about the entire kind of meme fellow kids for a second. The thing that's really grinding my gears is 244 missed messages. What? Unless there is a group chat and it's counting that as individual messages, I just don't see how you can have 244 unread messages. That is the most unfellow kids thing I've ever seen, you know. I get some people have a few, but I feel as though the radical youth always have a fairly clean, you know, looking at every single message they have. So really, I don't know, maybe you're just a fellow kid. Your dad is so top tier and he knows exactly what the next phase of this meme is going to be, that he responds to it early, where you're still leaving 244 messages behind in the comrade period. I think the strangest part to me is, how did this come about? You know, obviously we don't see the text beforehand, but where is your text originally come from and why did you send it? What was the conversation that sparked you to send this entire image right here, and then for him to kind of know or kind of respond in that way? It just doesn't really make sense. And hey, like I've said with half of these posts with students and teachers and whatnot, you know, this is just a dad that's trying to reach out and whatnot. And you even said yourself, my dad trying to relate, not a bad effort, you know. Considering you're considering it to be not a bad effort, it can't be that bad as a fellow kids. It's certainly an interesting response and it's certainly unexpected, but come on now, isn't that entire meme culture as is unexpected? And so hey, maybe from this moment on, he knew exactly how to respond to every single text you ever said. Just say bombrad and you'll be okay. It immediately injects all the meme knowledge into the brain and you'll be fine from now on, dad. You'll be fine. But anyway, that's going to do it for fellow kids. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do the YouTube and little things down below. Other than that, I've been posting a lot of these videos and I reckon you might like some of them, so there should be a link up the top if you want to check some of the other ones out, or maybe just want to consider subscribing so don't miss another one in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.